So the talk today is the law of attraction. And there's been lots of opportunity to look at this or think about this or whatever, but it really is something that is probably more misunderstood than we would like to think. And I think a lot of that misunderstanding came out when the book The Secret came out and the movie came out. I think it created some of a more, wishful thinking kind of thing. Well, I want this, I want that, and so I'm going to bring that into my life. It's not how it works. And it's not as simple as that. You can't just make a vision board and then expect everything to show up. There's a part of us that has to participate. And so when we are thinking about what it is we want, and we're in that place of wanting, the universe will provide. Wanting. It's how it works. So when I sit back, if I'm having financial challenges and I'm looking at, well, how can I increase my income or the money that comes to me? The first thing we might do is look around and go, well, gee, how am I going to pay my rent? I don't know how to, oh my goodness, my car payment's coming. Oh dear, this other expense just showed up. What am I going to do? We can sit back and say, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise. But if we're experiencing lack and we're focusing on the lack, then lack is all that can come. That's what's going to continue to manifest. So we want to shift our perspective. The law of attraction responds to the essence of my being, the essence of your being. And the thoughts that you think about most often are the ones that are going to manifest. So if every time a bill comes into the house, you throw it in a drawer and quickly close it, then that says something about where you're at in abundance consciousness. If you are wishing for great friends and a great opportunity to, hang with people and have fun, but you're forever criticizing the people around you, maybe you won't have all those people. Or if you're criticizing yourself constantly, what will happen is the people around you will start to avoid you. Why? Because there's a thought pattern of not enough inside. So we want to shift that. And how do we shift it? When I think about the song that just played, I have enough, I have it all. If we were to get up every day and say to ourselves, all is well, and really breathe that in, all is well. If that's the truth, if I actually believe that's the truth, the fretting, the worrying, all of that will dissipate, and in its place will be a calmness that allows us then receive all that is in harmony with who we are. Ernest Holmes wrote, one of the ancient sayings is that to the person who can perfectly practice inaction, all things are possible. He goes on to write, this sounds like a contradiction until one gets down to the inner teachings, for it is only when one completely practices inaction that they arrive at the point of the true actor, for then they realize that the act and the actor are one and the same. Cause and effect are the same. So we start to realize, pardon me, we start to realize that there's an energy within me, there's a belief system within me that is operating. If I look at the world out here and decide that I'm not real crazy about it, I need to do something to change it, well, I can't change it by looking out here or fixing what's out here, because what's out here has already been created. I have to start here. I have to start here. Yeah, this is where we all start. We start with how we think about ourselves. If I think I'm not good enough, I get to be right. If I think I'm okay, I get to be right. You heard that, right? If I think I'm an idiot, I get to be right. The universe responds to that. Because deep inside, there's something that I'm believing that somehow I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not enough. And because that is the predominant belief in the core of my awareness, that is the one that will manifest. You see, when we are thinking into a universal mind. And that universal mind takes our thought and works with it and produces the result. It's just like planting your garden. You know, I've mentioned this before. You go in and you plant some seeds. Maybe you plant some wildflowers. And you go out every day and you take out the weeds and you water and you make sure they were in a sunny spot so they have the warmth of the sun and the sunlight as they start to grow. And the next thing you know, you have this beautiful field of wildflowers. Well, how did that happen? I don't know. We planted the seed in the soil and then we nurtured what we planted. You got that? We planted the seed in the soil and the soil brought forth what was in the seed. When we plant an idea in mind, the universe brings forth the fulfillment of that idea. Now, where we get caught up, there's two things that catch us up. One is, when something happens that we would call bad, you might go, oh yeah, so you're going to blame me for that. And that's not how this works. It's not about blame. The idea is that who I am will attract to me who I am. What I believe, what I think about, that's how it works. And it's not a punishment. It's just the way it works. The law is exact. The law can only do one thing, and that is respond to what it's given. Now look at your computer, for example. If you put a virus in, what happens? You lose everything. When you put a virus, into your consciousness, like negative thinking, it spits out a matching idea. So think about where you are. Think about what it is you do. Think about what it is you love. But take a look at the area of your life where you are most challenged. I know nobody wants to go there. We want to go to the parts that are easy. Go to the part that is most challenged. Go to that place. And as you go to that place, allow yourself to sit in the understanding this is a product of a previously held belief system. Now that opens the door for us to go, what would I like to believe differently? What could I do differently? It's not, you're bad and wrong for thinking. No, no, no. We're part of race consciousness. We're part of the collective consciousness. And because the collective consciousness might be thinking pretty negatively or whatever, we are subject to that unless we extricate ourselves from it. And are you ready to do that? Are you ready to step up and go, hey, I'm ready to do something different, to be something different? So Ernest Holmes wrote, everyone automatically attracts to themselves just what they are. And you may set it down that wherever you are, however intolerable the situation may be, it is just where you belong. Ouch. But that's not to say that you're bad or you're to blame or you're No, it's just saying you are where you are because of what you believe about you. Yeah. He goes on to say, there is no power in the universe but yourself that can get you out of it. Someone may help you on the road to realization, but substantiality and permanence can only come through the consciousness of your own life and your own thoughts. So we must bring ourselves to a point where there is no misfortune, no calamity, no accident, no trouble, no confusion, where there is nothing but plenty, peace, power, life, and truth. We should tell ourselves daily, using our own mind, declare the truth about ourselves, realizing that we are reflecting our statements into consciousness and they will be operated upon. It's not just the words you speak out loud, it's the ones you think inside that are creating the life that you're living. And of course, we have the power to change that. The minute we can see a pattern, we can go, whoa, that's not what I want. And we can plant a new seed. So if we didn't want wildflowers, we could plant zucchini, we could plant carrots, we could plant snow peas, we could plant peppers, we could plant tomatoes. And in the fall, we wouldn't have wildflowers, or they grow a little faster than that, but we would have carrots and zucchini and I don't think I said carrots, peas and all this nutritious food that would take us through the winter time. Juicy, lush tomatoes for whatever we like with our tomatoes. Lightly sauteed for breakfast or sliced in a sandwich. What I'm saying is that we must be clear. The life that I'm living is the life I have created. And it's not good or bad, it just is. And if there's something about it that I'm not fond of, that I would like to change, then I have the ability to do that. And he goes on to say, this is why some of the teachers of older times used to tell their students to cross their hands over their chests. You can join me in this. Cross your hands across your chest, give yourself a big hug, and say, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me. Act as though I am and I will be. When we get secure in where we're at, when we get comfortable with who we are, when we accept that what is, in those moments we have the power to create something truly magnificent. Truly magnificent. And earlier I mentioned the ancient saying that to the person who can perfectly practice inaction, all things are possible. I know that sounds a little contradictory, doesn't it? But when we get into that place and start practicing, we do our meditation, we do our treatment work, and we sit in the energy of that, all of a sudden, intuitively, ideas start popping up, things that we could say or do, someone we can reach out to, all kinds of information shows up. So he says, for they then realize that the act and the actor are one and the same. The cause and effect are the same. To reduce the whole thing to its simplest form, whatever one reflects into mind will be done. What are we reflecting into mind? And there are so many stories out there of people that are struggling with, money or relationship or work issues or home issues, whatever it is. And we all have those. But the way that we shift it is to acknowledge, to recognize, and to actually believe at the core of our being, I am one with life. I am one with the power and presence of the Creator. I am one with. Whew. And in this moment, I'm powerful. And I create harmoniously, lovingly, and creatively that which I need, that which I'm ready to receive. But I have to let go of what was and stand in this moment raw, open, vulnerable, ready to listen, to receive inspiration, to move forward with what I receive, and to create a life that is truly, truly joyful and beautiful. Ernest Holmes wrote, suppose an inventor came to you and said, I'm trying to perfect a piece of machinery and have not been able to work out the right plan. So you sit with him for treatment, that is, you concentrate in mind in order to produce the desired idea through him. You know that all ideas come from mind and that mind is always unfolding its ideas through us. So you say, John Smith is an inventor. A certain idea is trying to operate through him, and there is nothing in him that can obstruct this idea. Nothing can obstruct this idea. So when you think about your dreams and your wishes, the things that you'd love to manifest, the stuff that you've been imagining maybe even for years, and you begin to tell yourself, oh, the time is now. Wonderful, wonderful me, creating life harmoniously with the universe, creating motion and movement that not only is harmonious and creating joy in my life, but that joy is expanding and moving around me and touching the lives of the people around me and shifting and altering the things that we think, say, and do. And there becomes this surge of excitement and delight that opens us up to something truly, truly spectacular. Are we ready? Are we ready? What is your big dream? Have you written it down? Are you afraid of it? Yeah. Are you ready to bring it into your life experience? Are you ready to laugh and play and have fun with life? You know, the interesting thing about life is that it's not about what we do or what we have. It's about being who we are. That's it. And recognizing that this is a journey without a destination. So there's nowhere for us to get. There's nothing for us to get. There's a life to be lived. And the law of attraction allows us to live it fully and completely and harmoniously when we sink into our heart space and allow ourselves to really move from this idea of love, to notice the people around us and to see them as good and beautiful and whole. And if somebody comes to you for support, you allow them into your space with a loving heart. You allow them into your experience and give them whatever they need. Allow yourself to be the change in the world that we're seeking. Allow yourself to be so present with spirit that you fear nothing, that you sit in a space of love and joy, knowing that you are one with the infinite, and that as a result of that, all good is added. All good is added to that based on your own consciousness and thinking. So what I believe is all good would not be your experience. That would be mine. Your neighbor would have a different experience of what all good means. So I invite you to really go into your heart space and look at your life around you and the parts that might be troubling you. And as you look at those parts, just look at them. Don't attach. Just go, wow, that's what's going on. Okay. Do I love it? Do I dislike it? Do I wish it was gone? Okay. Well, wishing it away won't take it away. We have forgotten that we are a complete whole within this complete whole. And as a complete whole, both the light and the darkness form that being or that expression. So, what it is I don't like about myself, I must embrace, I must accept, I must pull it into my embrace and hold it close. And with love and kindness, just listen to it. Listen to what it's saying. And then lovingly and gently shifting so that it can be integrated easily, peacefully, and beautifully, comfortably. And it allows us then to move forward with a sense of excitement and delight, creating a whole new experience, one that only we can create. You see, each one of us is created unique and special. We have a gift. Everyone has a gift. And that gift is so easy, so effortless for you that you may not even notice it because it just seems irrelevant. It is the most powerful part of you. Pay attention. Pay attention to what that is. And then allow it to come forth. Allow it to be fully present. Ernest Holmes says, never look at that which you do not wish to experience. No matter what the false condition may be, it must be refuted. The proper kind of denial is based upon the recognition that in reality there is no limitation, for mind can as easily make a planet as anything else. The infinite knows no difference between $1 million and a penny. It only knows that it is. That's all it knows, is that it is. Explore your thoughts this week. Explore your actions. Explore your life. Look at your life without judgment, without criticism, without blaming. Just look at it. I'd love to shift this area. Awesome. Now focus on what you want, not what you don't want. You know, if you have an illness, perhaps, focus on health. See your body as healthy, vibrant, alive, and well. If it's finances, see your finances healthy, vibrant, and perfect now. Adding to, taking from, it's always a balanced book. It always works perfectly. If it's relationships, you're having trouble with a friend or a family member, just remind yourself, this person too is an aspect of me and the entire universe, and we are connected. And what this person does that maybe annoys or irritates me may very well be showing me something inside of me that's ready to heal. So I receive it as a blessing. I notice it as a blessing. Everything in my life blesses me. Everything in my life is moving me into a greater expression of the divine. Where's your life taking you? And are you ready to go? Are you ready to jump in with both feet and create a remarkable life? You may be. Check in and see. Namaste.
Welcome to the Universal Joy Center's Abundance Affirmation. As we speak these words together, we align with the flow of universal abundance, recognizing that giving is not a loss, but it's a joyful circulation of energy. In the space of gratitude and generosity, we invite you to give from your heart, knowing that what you share returns to you multiplied. So let's affirm the truth of prosperity together. As I give, so I receive. My good now flows to me in a steady, unbroken, ever-increasing stream of success, happiness, and abundance. I am blessed. Blessings abound for all life everywhere. I am grateful. And there's many ways you can give. As a charitable organization, we would like your support, and you can do an e-transfer to admin at ujoyc.ca, or you can click donate on our new website at www.ujoyc.ca. You can mail a check to Universal Joy Center at 28 Sir Raymond Drive, Toronto, Ontario, M1E1C2. And if you feel called to contribute, please take this time to do so. And I think I left out the one other one. You can scan this QR code.